Nous chaque zami qui comme ça. Sou pas gon zami qui comme ça. Eh bien, c'est où qui comme ça?
Bel Fanm, baguette pour moi pose yo. Baguette pour moi pose yo. Bel Fanm, baguette pour moi pose yo. Baguette pour moi pose yo. Bel Fanm. Bel Fanm.
You are way too cute to be acting like
Bel
that.
Fanm. Bel Fanm.
Bon parler avec. Ou pas de contact, mon bouchou maré. C'est pas ça qu'a fait la.
Here when I was about 8 years of age. Once I got here, it was just me and my mom and my sister. It was just the four of us, definitely my mom, my sister, the three of us. While we were living together, my dad wasn't here. He was in Haiti. He didn't come with us. They were separated. So I was going through a lot of things, being 8 years old and being, you know, raised in a home with your mom and your dad, and all of a sudden, you know, you're just with your mom and your dad's not. He's thousands of miles away, thank you. And you can't really see him when you want to, knowing that he was always right there with you. So it was challenging as a kid growing up like that. So I was, I guess, raised by a single mother because I was 8 years old, and it was really tough. I had a really tough childhood, I can say that. And I think my younger sister had it even rougher than I did. But it kind of helped me to be who I am today. It really did. It helped me to become the poet that I am today, believe it or not. I was actually, you know, being raised in a Haitian community, in a Haitian household with a single parent, it's actually very difficult. Why do I say that? Because at times when she's the only one providing for the family, you know, raising two daughters and providing, I think, I'm not sure, you know, if she got frustrated, you know, throughout the whole situation or throughout the time that she was doing it. Haitians, typically, I would say most Haitian mothers, parents, I wouldn't say mothers, let me not just say that, parents, typically use verbal languages that many times they think that it may be okay.
Right, but it's hurtful.
But it's hurtful, exactly. It's like, as an 8-year-old, you know, being, you know, called a voyeur, you know, or something. Not saying, I'm just using, not saying that she called me that exactly. I'm just using an example. You know, it kind of hurts. It kind of leaves a mark inside of you for some reason. And I kind of was a victim to verbal abuse in my home, and also, and I'm sure many people can relate to that, especially in our community. It kind of made me angry, bitter, and also a rebel. I would say, though, I would definitely use the word rebel. Why? Because I started to retaliate, and when my mother would say, you know, not even curse at me, but just talking vigorously, you know, it kind of just hurt me in the fact that I couldn't tell her how I feel, because, how do I say this? I believe that we need to do better. I really believe that we need to do better. Why? Because especially raising daughters in the community, it's important for these children to have some kind of communication, some kind of, how do I say this, some kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Some support? Support, not just support, but relationship. With your mother. Daughters with not just your mother, your parents. It's really hard. It's really important for that, because I can remember when I was 9 years of age and I had my menstruals at just 9 years old, and I didn't know how to talk to my mother about that. You know what I mean? Because it was just something that, it wasn't even embarrassing. It was just that I don't have that conversation with you. You know what I mean? We never did have that personal conversation. How do I go to you and say, hey mom, I'm a demoiselle now, you know? So it's something as far as relationship, communication, starting that at the youngest age is the best way to do it, because you grow up with that. You make your child more comfortable talking to you about things that you wouldn't even expect them to, because it's just important. It's an important thing. And the fact that I couldn't talk to my mom, I reached out to my notebook, and that's how I became a poet, because I started writing about my life situation. I didn't really write poems, so it was just a journal you kept. And I would write about how my day went, you know, the boys are like in school, you know, and my teacher, you know, things like that. So I started to just write about daily activities, and I used to love Maya Angelou, rest in peace, my favorite poet. And I remember in class we were doing some kind of like presentation of her poetry, and I didn't really understand what I was reading, really, because when you're 9, 10 years old and you're reading that poem, Still I Rise, you don't, yes, that's my favorite one. You don't really understand what you're reading. You just don't understand it. You don't really see that emotion behind it. You don't see the reality behind it, the truth. It just sounds like words to you, and the rhythm and everything. You're looking for simile, you're looking for onomatopoeia, you're looking for this, you're looking for that, but you don't really understand the meaning of it. But for some reason, it wasn't really her poems that caught my attention. It was her story, believe it or not. It wasn't her poetry, it was her life story growing up. You know, that's what really caught my attention, and I decided that I wanted her to be my role model. I wanted to follow her. I wanted to write. And I started turning my journal into a poetry book. It was difficult.
How did you?
It was tough because I started out, my first poem, I'll never forget, took me 6 months to write it.
How long was it?
It wasn't long. It wasn't the fact that it was long. It was just the fact that I wasn't really writing it how do I say this? I wasn't really writing from within. I was just writing to make sense, or writing to rhyme. And I wasn't really just putting out my emotions on paper. I was like, no, this won't sound good. I need to make it rhyme. You know, so that's why I believe, because I wasn't doing it from within, that's why it took so long. However, once I started writing my poems from within, it just, you know, I didn't care about rhyming, I didn't care about similes, I didn't care about anything. I just wanted to put my feelings out on paper, and I did it, and the feedbacks were amazing.
So tell me about the time that you first recited a poem for your mom. What was your mom's reaction? What was
believe it or not, I don't believe I ever recited a poem for her.
Really?
No, me and my mom's relationship is not the best still.
How old are you?
I am 24.
You don't think even till today, you don't want to sit down and talk to her and tell her, hey, look, this is probably why we're like this. I'm 24 now. Can we change this? Because you're older now, so you know.
Right, exactly.
I think you would understand.
Right, and I've tried that. It just comes to a point, and I can't even believe I'm talking about this right now, believe it or not, because I don't know. It just comes to a point where it's just blocks that builds, and to break down those blocks is not easy, especially it has become a tradition, and traditions are not easy to break.
Right.
So that's kind of how I see it. It's like I just see it that way, because trying is not because I don't try. I've tried. I used to even remember feeling like my mom doesn't love me. You know, I used to remember feeling like, because I never heard that word come from her mouth. And like I said, within our community and in Haitian household, I'm not sure now, you know, with the younger generation, but you don't really hear that, hey baby, exactly, that affection, and it's something that and that's what me and my sister are, two different people. It's crazy. We're just completely opposite. And I feel like my mother, what she did was misunderstand me. I feel like when you have two kids, they're never going to be the same. No. The way that you show your affection to one may not be the same that this one receives it.
Always the youngest one that gets all the love. And
people say that. I guess it's true. But it might not be the same way. The way that you show her love may not be the way that I accept it. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you show me the same kind of love that you show her, I might, retaliate. But I feel like she didn't understand how to, my mother loved me, but she didn't understand how to bring that affectionate side of her to me.
Okay.
And like I said, I've tried, I sit down, we talk, and it built up for so many years, and it's really hard to break it. Like I said, it's just it just has become a tradition. I come to the point where I'm tired of trying. I'm just like, you know what? It just it is what it is. I don't care. But I made a vow to myself, and I learned something from that. And that when I have my daughters, if I have any daughters, that I would understand and know how to treat them and how to bring that affection to them. So I learned a lot from it, believe it or not. And I was more of the needy one, because I wanted to hear my mother say she loved me. I really wanted, and I've asked her in my not adult life, but kind of like teen. And I'm like, Mom, how come you never say you love me? You know? And like I was saying before earlier, in the Haitian household, I love you means I wash your clothes, I feed you, I pay your bills, I buy you clothes, I get you everything that you need to survive.
Still living, right?
You still living. I love you. That's love. And that is love, but the affection was all I needed. I don't care if I had to live under a bridge with my mom at 8 years old. You're not thinking about, oh, my mom is working so hard. You don't see that. And that's what many of them kind of miss to understand, is that you don't see how hard she's working. You just want to hug. You just want that affection. You just want to, how do I say? You just want to verbally hear the word I love you. You just want to see it by her action instead of, now I wouldn't say action, but I would say action, but instead of working, but kind of like action as far as hugging and kissing and all of that. So I didn't get any of that. So it kind of just made me grow up bitter and sad. And
I understand, because I feel like in the Haitian community, I'm not going to say every Haitian, but most, or what I've experienced, they're like robots. It's like
definitely
they go to work, wake up, go to work, come home, cook, they go to sleep. It's not like, you know, a traditional home here in America where it's like, you know, they have the family time, they have, no, because we only sit around the table and eat when there's like someone's birthday, maybe Thanksgiving, but like we take our food and we go our separate ways. Exactly. That's how it was in my home. And like I didn't get that. And
it becomes, I guess they become very frustrated of that, how do I say this, the routine way of doing things. And it's like, you know, is there a better way in life? But you have to create that life. You got to wake up and say, you know what? It's my off day. Let me take my kids out to the round. They are.
Trust me,
they are. Yeah, because once I saw my, okay, Ann, you can't do this. You need to stop right there. But I'm like, no. It's like the last sentence is always the dopest. So every time you want to stop, you're like, oh, if I added this, it's going to be like, and that ends up being like 2 sentences or 3 sentences added to it. It's just, but yeah, so writing 700 to 1,000 word poem and writing multiple about that same topic is kind of tough. So I don't really try to write about the same thing more than one time. But I've noticed that many people have told me that too, that my poems, I really put a lot of emotions in them. I really do. I put a lot of emotions in my poems, and most of them, I would say, are about, I try to write differently. Because, like I said that on one of my videos, that many of the time, especially nowadays, it's not about sex or money. People don't know how to write anymore. Because it's like, if it's not about vaginas and penises, I don't know what to write about. And I wanted to do something different, something that people can relate to, something that people can use as a reference, something that people can use as healing, can use as, you know, like, oh my gosh, like she's speaking directly to me, touching people's souls and spirit. That's kind of the reason why I, you know, I want to do different things rather than talking about vaginas and penises, you know. So, yeah.
So what's your favorite right now? What's your favorite poem that you've written? What was the topic?
Favorite?
You can't tell me you don't have favorite. You have to have.
No, because every time I write one, I'm like, damn, this is dope. Like, this is my favorite. Then like, I write another one, like, this is my favorite. Because why? Because I feel like when I write my poems, if it doesn't touch me first, I'm like, how do I expect it to touch somebody else? Right. So if I don't feel that, like, oh my gosh, like I freaking love this, I don't put it out. Okay. I don't, because first it has to touch me. First I have to stand back and look at my craft and be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, you know. Then put it out, because you know, many people just tend to just do things and put out garbages, and you know, although some of them actually go a long way with that garbage. You never know, girl, what you gonna put on there, and next thing you know, you're a millionaire. But you know, like if it doesn't touch me, if I don't feel that yeah, then I put it out there, then I'm gonna get disappointed. Cause I'm like, oh my gosh, like I knew this was not good. No wonder, you know, like it's not, you know, going. Yeah. So I don't. If it touches me first and I put it out there, then I don't get disappointed. Okay. Yeah.
So now do you have something for us today? Something
God.
on the site? Maybe something.
I knew she was gonna do this to me. I do it. I do it. Okay. So,
by the way, the cremas that we have today is from Valmas Cremas. I swear to you, it's one of the best cremas I've ever had.
Yes.
Right now, I have the almond, Miss Almond.
So good. Okay, so let me see. Yes, I'm gonna do. I really cherish this poem a lot. It's one of my favorites. It's my first Creole poem that I ever wrote.
What is it about?
It's called La Rivière.
Okay.
Yeah, because I remember growing up in Haiti for the 8 years that I was there. From what I can remember, not the whole 8 years, but you know, the 4 years. Yeah. And there's some things that that's just are permanently tattooed in your head that you can't really get rid of, no matter what. And I really like that though. But I sat down one day and I just went back to those areas that made me happy, and then I just was like, I'm gonna write a poem about this because I want to keep that memory, you know, forever with me. And I wrote it. I called it La Rivière, and it was my first poem, Creole poem, a little bit more challenging than English poem for sure. I'm not, although it was my first language, I guess because I'm just more active with English and writing with English, that you know, I was having a little challenge, but I did it, and I really like it, and I'm gonna share it with you guys. So. Okay. Can I get a mic, please? We'll use Valmas Cremas. So, and it goes like this. Un jour matin, en bas un soleil éclairé qui chita sur tête d'une montagne qui semblait avec deux jeunes gens qui rencontraient pour la première fois. Moi songer à Haïti. Chaque 6 heures du matin, les côtes a chanté dans un langage que brille téléphone pas qu'à comparer. La ousée l'avait pied comme s'il était toute nuit là, la ramassée de l'eau dans petit bouquet pour venir salir les orteils. Le matin, chaque leçon tournait un chant pour tout élève dans le quartier. Bon, à l'acheter 10 copes à cassan dans mes machines dans Kishita, c'est un petit chaise. En battant là, dans le carrefour là, avant cloche là sonner. Haïti, les oiseaux, après ramasser, tu vois sèche dans la rangée. Pour la préparer niche li, si on pied palmi, si pied haut qui penché, si on l'eau. L'eau ça, nous relève la rivière. La rivière. Yon délivrance pour tout petit bruit qui saute dans le jardin. Pencher tête li pour mouiller gorge li. La rivière. Côte maman ak petite chita. Jupio plié en dans jambe yo. Y'a pote rad qui bat yon son tant kou. Tis oiseaux sans maman cap chercher secours. La rivière. Quand tout le monde a mangé magot blanc. Avec canne cap plongé dans le bassin. Haïti. Yo di ou pa yon belle femme. Yo di ou pa respecter tête ou parce que ou bay toute l'autre nation ouais couleur culotte ou. Yo di ou pa gen valeur parce que ou pa gen rien pour offrir petit yo. Haïti. Yo di ou pa kon habillé. Mais toile qui marre ceinture là, seul papa bon Dieu kon pour qu'il là. Ou passer misère pour bay petit yo manger bon manger. Ou kebe dignité parce que ou montrer toute petite fille yo qui genre pour yo bouillir 2 graines fois avant yo marier. Parce que dans le pays blanc, Restaurant yo pa bay madame yo on ti chance pou yo dresse di riz. Sos pois avec légumes dans 3 ti bol pou mari yo si yon cabaret. Petit yo, pap jom konnen ki jan pou yo roule sec avec ti bois. Teke map avec pousse yo, sote kod si yon pied. Parce que téléphone ak télévision pa bay yo tan, men krik krak pap jom sou VH1. Ou pap jom wè kasav ak mamba sou MTV parce que ça c'est manger qui sorti dans central pays mwen. Chef Ramsey, pap jom ka montre ou différence plan du riz avec zeb, masok avec plan banane. Mwen sonje Haïti. Le la pli ap tombe sou karitol. Le machan ap mache pou mene provision dans la ouya. Bri du riz dans la ye. Cricket kap chante le soir. Haïti, ou longe seyon ou bay lot nation manger, ou siye swan an fon ou bay yo bwe, ou mette youn chita sou zepol ou, youn sou lot la, youn sou do, youn sou l'estomak ou. Chak pase yo kase yon zon an kot ou, yo pran yo mette sou do yo ale, sama de pou ki sa, pou kite yo ale. Merci.
Yes! I felt that one. Oh my gosh. Yes.
And, yeah.
So how long did it take you to write that?
That one took me longer than usual. This was one of my poems that I had the writer's block on that took me about a month to finish it. But when I got back to writing it, I just went back to that place and let's just write it as it is. And there it is.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Have you performed that anywhere yet?
Oh yes. Oh yes. This is my second most watched video.
Yes.
This poem here. Yep.
Yes. Oh no, I'm gonna help you make that viral.
Please do.
So, I mean, all you used was your experience. You didn't
Yes, my imagination and my experience. Yeah.
So before writing anything down, do you do research on it first or nothing? Or you just write?
It depends on what I'm writing about. Yeah, it depends on what I'm writing about. But sometimes, yes, I do. Yeah,
That's
for sure.
beautiful.
Yeah,
That's so beautiful.
Okay,
so, as a woman, as a beautiful Black woman,
yes.
how do you feel? Where do you stand in a male-dominant industry?
Well, poetry is very tiny.
Right.
It's very small. You will find, every corner you'll find a singer, you'll find somebody that can sing, you'll find somebody that can rap. But it's really hard to find a poet.
Mm-hmm.
Poets are not out there like that, and I really like that. But believe it or not, I think that as women, we are taking it, or we're taking over.
Yeah,
I really believe it. I believe that we're taking over. Many of the times, we might not get the exposure that we need to get where we need to do, but we're low key taking over. So, Mel, you don't got nothing on us. We got this. Like Fanm Kreyol, okay? We got this down pack. Yes.
Okay. So you wouldn't say some musicians are poets, like rappers or anything? Would you say that's the type of poetry, or is that poetry?
It is. Rap is poetry. Yeah, it actually is. It just depends on.
But do you respect it, like your poetry, like? No.
I mean, because rap is poetry, it's just a different kind of, But it's like. I guess I could just write my poems and somebody could just turn it into a rap. Simple like that. I think it's just the way that you articulate it, just the way that you decide to use the words.
Right.
Yeah. So I can take it. I can even turn it into a song.
Okay. Yeah.
If I want to. So it's just, I think, in the same manner that we all have. I would believe songwriters, poetry writers, we're smarter. Yeah, we will actually write the song. So, and you guys just deliver it, So we're smarter. Sorry, it's just the way that it is.
You guys have brains behind this.
Yes.
Okay, so who's your favorite artist? Or what's your favorite? What music do you listen to nowadays?
Oh gosh. Next question, please. I'm not really
Okay, are you more of a compa type? Are you more of R&B?
If I'm in the mood for it, I'll listen to a little compa. I listen to a throwback R&B, but that's it.
So do you have favorite artists? Favorite compa artists? Favorite now? Okay, so if there was a ball in town, right?
Yeah.
And it was like this and this person was what was going. Like what artist, what group is going to make you go out and go to that ball?
Ay, don't do this to me. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to say Flav. That's big.
Okay.
I know he's married and he got 2 kids, but it's still big.
Okay. So, we'll get back to you after these after these messages.
I was born Anne. Simply Anne. Nothing more, nothing less. I believed my mother picked my name the day she birthed me, slapped her trembling fingers on my birth certificate, with blood underneath her nails from digging it into her palms while pushing my stubborn head out. Stubborn is what I've been called, because I refuse to believe I came from monkeys, no matter how many documented hypotheses scientists across the world have written. So I will not apologize for your disappointment if you believe I am welcomed at the doorstep of gullibility. My teacher once told me, my lips carry the damage of an earthquake. My tongue is a natural disaster on its own. I soon became mute. It was through moments of silence I figured the real reason why the cage bird sung. She carried the voice of a wolf, recognized by no one until she started to howl. That day, I realized pain with no evidence of scar tissues or cold-blooded punishment by silent treatment. I hate apple juice, and kiwis make my mouth itch. I love zucchinis but hate cucumbers. I am the daughter of a man who believed I wasn't his, but our smile, rhymed in the same poetry lines, makes me wonder if that's the reason why my mother disliked my personality so much. Or maybe it's the amount of agony caused in the process of healing. Speaking of healing, I know a woman who scotch-taped her loose limbs underneath black gowns until she was strong enough to walk on her own. She was that dried leaf that fell on top of a still lake, noiseless but refused to sink. One thing I know is alone has 2 definitions. One is finally free. The other is the voice inside of your head at the club on a Saturday night around 2 a.m. Eastern Time, sitting at the bar after the 3rd shot of Hennessy. I don't remember who taught me that. I don't kiss on the first date, and I'm not really good at slow dancing. So if you ask me to, instead of saying no, I'll probably come up with the corniest excuse like, I don't mean to step on your toes, but you're not as hot as I thought you were yesterday, then run home and write a poem about it. I've had someone called me an angel, so I climbed on top of the mountains just to get closer to God while I left him waiting for me inside of my closet. So when anyone calls me an angel, I tell them to call me heaven sent instead. And maybe that can boost up my self-worth just a tad bit, knowing everything good only comes from above. Listen to this. You may not believe me, but I spent my entire life trying to find the definition of self-love, only to realize that self-love has 7 billion definitions worldwide. I promise I'm not a difficult person. I've been known to fall in love hard, and when I say hard, I mean like skyscrapers falling down straight on concrete ground, hard like mothers pushing out stillborns, then more now that the aftermath of hope left her on her knees, with courage still dancing in her veins to keep her alive. I learned a while ago. A hug can fix a broken heart way faster than money can. My grandmother taught me that one. I'm 5'4". I was born in November. And I'm positive I've written many words than you have. On my free time, I like to write. It helps me escape my anxiety and stress. I know men with bruised knuckles and crooked teeth who's never tired of rolling with the punches thrown by life. Life is a game, they say, and you must know how to play well. So they hopscotch with unattached emotions in between countless forgetful thighs. They lie through their teeth because lies are scentless. You look like a fool if you think you can smell the lies through their teeth. Toxicity is released through their exhale. So when they say that the air is polluting lately, they're the reason why. My eyes are shy, and my lips are conceited. I have attentive ears and humble hands. I haven't discovered everything about myself yet. But this I know. Every unhappy story written in my life has a final draft written by poetry.
And we are back with the beautiful and poetic, okay? And so we have a few more questions for you before, you know, we leave and wrap it up. I don't want you to go, but you know, I gotta go home.
Yeah, got work tomorrow.
As a businesswoman, as an entrepreneur, is it hard to be in a relationship? Have you had difficulties?
Okay, I like this question. And I'm going to give you a great answer for that question. Many of the times is that we try to incorporate our spouses into our vision. Sometimes is that your spouse or your partner or whatever, many of the time is that what the vision that you have may not be, you know, their vision. I'm a poet, you know, I can't just find somebody, just expect them to just be a poet, you know what I mean, or write me poetry, you know. So it kind of like, I feel like it can get difficult with dating and, you know, being an entrepreneur or businesswoman, because you have to kind of come to the realization and understand that this person is an individual themselves, that they have their own vision, and that you can't just drag them into your whole world of poetry or singer or writer, rapper, whatever, and just expect them to kind of just follow along with it when all of, you know, when they didn't have that vision for themselves, when they have their own vision. So I think in that area, communication and also supporting both of them actually, the spouse, you know, both spouses, their vision also. It's not just about, don't make it about you. Don't make it, you know, like, it's my dream, and I'm the one that's going out doing this and that. I need you, exactly. I need you to get on the bus and let's go. You know, and you don't understand, or you don't even know what their vision is and what they have planned, what their goals are. So you kind of have to, you know, sit down and have that communication. Be like, okay, you know what? I don't want to just drag you into my vision, you know, just bring you along, but you know, what do you have plan? You know, how can I support you with that? Let's do it separately but together.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
So then we have, what does Bel Fanm mean to you? When you hear it, when you see it.
Bel Fanm. Bel Fanm. I'm about to read it all.
Please dedicate it to us.
Well, I use this word in a different term. Why do I say that? Not every femme is belle. You can look at somebody,
yes,
they look beautiful, but they're not beautiful inside. In order to post a picture, you gotta have that eyebrows placed. You gotta have that wig on. It's like, who are you? Are you belle without that? Or can you accept yourself? Can you look in the mirror and say, I am a Bel Fanm without
all that, right?
All of that. Can you post a picture, a selfie, without the makeup, without the eyelashes, without the wig, and say, I am a Bel Fanm?
Right. Could you go out in public?
Can you go out and our community nowadays is like, more people are just burying themselves under all of this makeup and it's, believe it or not, and I feel like nowadays too, and I have a lot of male friends, that's what they're looking for. Believe me, you think that you look cute with that eyebrows drawn on, you look cute with that, you know, Kylie Jenner lipstick on, but it's what they're looking, many men, what they're looking for out there is who you are. I can agree with you. It's like agree to disagree type of thing going on right now, but like I said, going back to that, I feel like when you can actually look in the mirror, because I myself used to be very insecure. Believe it or not, I was the most insecure person in the whole wide world. I was bullied in school for being so ugly. People would, you're beautiful. Do you say so? But I did not feel that way at all. I thought I was just the ugliest person in my whole entire school. And it is just such a hard feeling. You know, it's just such a sad feeling to have, you know, feeling that way. So I grew up like that. I grew up being very insecure, and it's not until I actually started to look myself and, you know, telling myself that I'm beautiful no matter what, and being blessed that I don't have any defects. I'm like, my eyes work, you know, my lips work, my teeth are real, you know, things like that. So I'm like, that's beautiful. You know what I mean? That's what beautiful is. And whoever, you know, you're beautiful without it too, but can you accept that you're beautiful without it? Me, I look at it that way. I'm like, you know what? I'm beautiful. And then I continue to say that to myself. And then when I started to accept it and I started to receive it from other people telling me that, and it took, but although I accepted that I was beautiful, it was kind of like shocking to hear other people say it. So I'm like, you think I'm beautiful? Like, I need to go back into the mirror and be like, yeah. But yeah, so I believe that's what Bel Fanm means. When you can actually strip everything away, your dark circles, your wrinkles, everything, whatever, your bumps or whatever you have on your face and your bald head, and just no edges, and just looking.
Hey guys, we're back. Thank you so much for taking part of the Fanm Kreyol Takeover talk show experience. We are so happy that you're here. Maybe next time you can, you know, bring your book.
Yes, yes. Thank you all so much for having me.
Do you have any platforms that you want, a social media platform?
Yes, absolutely. Follow me on Instagram and Poetic and Poetic and with an E. Also Facebook, same thing, and Poetic and Poetic. You can also find me on Snapchat and Poetic, same thing.
Cool. And of course,
YouTube. Sorry, I gotta get the YouTube. Subscribe to my channel, please. Lord Jesus knows I need them subscribers. And Poetic and Poetic.
Any emails or anything so they can book you?
Absolutely. I'll come to your event. I'll perform. And my email is poeticpoet@gmail.com.
Yes, sis.
Yes.
And of course, I am your girl, Karma with the C 96 on Instagram. And make sure to subscribe and follow all of our social media platforms will be listed below. Thank you guys. And we don't say bye, of course. We say bisous. Bye, babes.